I have way too many Ryobi drills because A, clearly I have a problem, and B, because my old ones are still kicking. Since I have all of these, let me do a performance showdown and drill comparison to show if and how drills have improved. If you are considering upgrading or buying a new Ryobi drill, this video should be helpful. Also, if you're upgrading, should you be spending your money on new batteries, maybe just the new drill, or both? Despite having all these Ryobis, my woodworking go-to is another brand, and I'll show you why. Or if you're just here to see if this old recalled Ryobi catches my shop on fire, that's cool too. Let's jump right into comparing the new and old brush models as a baseline. Here's my old brush model driving a 2.5 inch 5/16 lag into pine. It knocks it out in 3.8 seconds. And comparing to a new brush drill side by side, yeah, the performance is very similar, with the new one being only slightly slower, 4 seconds. The newer brush model is only slightly shorter and a few ounces lighter, but wider at the back and near the clutch adjustment area. The trigger also feels slightly delayed comparing to the older model. I really wouldn't recommend the new brush model. I also have an older P103 battery that still works. Let's take a look at how much the performance drops with that battery. Down to 4.9 seconds from 3.8, so about a full second slower. And if we step it up to the HP battery, yeah, both brush drills were right around 3.8 seconds, so not much improvement from the standard battery. If you're curious why I bought the brush drill in the first place, I didn't. Ryobi sent it to me after I turned in this old recalled blue drill I got off Marketplace. I bought a new HP battery off someone, and he was just throwing in a bunch of these blue tools, getting rid of them. Before I realized it was recalled, I ran it through the same test, and this is what it looks like. Old Blue is getting her done, but a little slow, slightly over 7 seconds. It's also big and heavy, over 10 inches long and just over 4 pounds. So if you're still rocking one of these, maybe it's upgrade time, or check if it's a model number 1802, and you can take advantage of the recall. A new high-performance battery really didn't help, 7.2 seconds. But you can't be mad at it. It's over 2 decades old. These were sold at the Home Depot in 2001 to 2003 per the recall. Now let's move on to what most people should be interested in, the newer brushless drills. Quickly though, let me explain that I attempted some different at-home tests to try and compare performance. This test driving the lag bolt is on speed 1, and you can see a measurable time difference. I also tried some 3-inch drywall screws as well on speed 2. All drills completed this quickly, and the time, it's really short and could be impacted by how I hold the drill or how much I press down. So I wanted something that would be consistent. The lag bolt on speed 2 was a struggle. These drills have overload protection. With these newer brushless options, they come in a compact and a larger, supposedly higher power option. The compact appears to come with more basic batteries, and the larger 1 Plus HP also comes with additional battery contacts and the HP high performance batteries. So let's see if that translates to improved time driving a lag bolt. The compact weighs in at 3 pounds 1 ounces and 6.5 inches, so shedding quite a bit of weight and length, while the big dog is quite a bit heavier at 3 pounds 13 ounces and 7.25 inches long. So the heaviest drill aside from Old Blue. With a full battery, the big dog goes quick at 2.8 seconds, and the compact only slightly behind at 3.4 seconds. Clearly, these two options are a pretty big improvement over the older brushed options. The weight, size, and drill speed is improved. Also, the larger brushless with a 4 amp hour battery was the only drill to be able to sync the lag on speed 2. So if you need a lot of torque on speed 2, you're definitely going to want this drill as well as the larger batteries. Now, if we mess around with batteries a bit, the big dog only slows down slightly without the expected high performance battery to 3.1 seconds. So I think we've shown that most of the performance comes from the drill and not the battery. A new HP battery isn't going to get you a lot of extra performance out of your drill. Even with the improved performance, I found a real-world example where the compact brushless drill struggled. I was drilling cabinet door hinge pockets with a jig, I noticed after a couple doors the compact was taking a while, around 30 seconds. I went to the larger drill and higher amp hour battery, and the time was cut to around 10 seconds. I was really surprised by that difference and happy because I had a lot of those to drill, and even though the drill was heavier, it was a lot better overall just with the amount of time to drill those large hinge pockets. Performance and speed with the lag bolt. Let's look at the trigger quality and chucks as well. So with the chucks, as you move up to the top of the line model, clearly it gets slightly smoother each step up, and then also you can see there's visibly more metal components. Now I would assume all the components on the inside that count are metal, and you know, this 15-year-old drill that's heavily used, the chuck's a little bit worn out, but it's still working. Hopefully they'll all last a while, but there is a bit of quality with the higher end model. For the triggers, I mentioned the brushed is a little laggy. Then when we step to the top of the line model, this trigger is a little bit frustrating where when you pull it for the first time, there's definitely like a half-second delay, and then it's fine after that. So it's just the first time, it's like the drill's kicking on almost, and then it knows you're gonna pull the trigger. So that's a little frustrating. Compact model is maybe spongier. It feels not quite as responsive, but it clearly seems like they're trying to give you more trigger control with this trigger versus the others. So to test out trigger control, let's see how low they can go on speed 1. This will be a crude test just with some tape on a bit, but I can calculate time to complete 1 revolution. For the old brush, it really has good trigger control and can slow down to 6 seconds for 1 revolution. Then to the newer brush, 3.4 seconds, which is the same as the compact. And then the latest model is the worst at 1.1 second per revolution. So the original drill is the best. Before talking about which drill is the best, I will say all should get the job done. It's more about what you can do with the tools than how much you spend on the tools. Do the best with what you have and focus on the project first. So talking about which one is the best, well, it really depends on what you're doing. The older brush model isn't terrible. It has decent performance and the best trigger overall. The new compact brushless is a really nice overall drill, but may still struggle on heavy duty tasks. If you had just one drill, the compact would be my recommendation. If you're drilling metal, using hole saws, Forstner bits more often, then the top model is going to be the best, and maybe even a larger amp hour battery to go with it. You will have to apply those results to your current situation, but I went a different route completely. You may have noticed this 12-volt red drill from China and DKC from Amazon. With the new brushless technology, instead of more power, this has quite a bit less weight, more convenient. For most countersinking and drilling tasks for woodworking, this is my go-to. And then I have the Ryobis for heavy-duty tasks, although I have way too many. So let's quickly take a look at where the 12-volt DKC stacks up in the Ryobi lineup. The DKC is 1 pound 15 ounces, so significantly lower weight, almost half of the top of the line Ryobi. It's also 7 inches long, so only the compact is shorter at 6.5 inches. For the lag bolt, it finishes in 3.6 seconds, which beats the performance of both the brush models, but not quite the Ryobi brushless 18 volts. It does struggle on the low speed test with 0.9 seconds per revolution, although I haven't really noticed any control issues, so maybe it's still good enough. There is no startup lag, and despite the higher starting speed, the trigger feels closer to the original Ryobi. When I first found these on Amazon, I was buying them between $30 and $43 on sale. I see them frequently around $60 now with less sales. So if you prioritize weight, control, and are willing to risk it on a drill with realistically no warranty, I would recommend this DKC. I've been using 2 for over a year with no issues. I do genuinely hope this information was helpful. Please consider liking and subscribing. If you are interested in a Ryobi jigsaw review and some of their challenges, check out this video next. Best of luck on your projects. Thanks for watching.